This watch is by a maker named Fridel from Strasbourg, which is in Alsatian area of France. And what's interesting about this, it's a very unusual form of watch to find a watch with a porcelain case. We see porcelain-cased clocks quite a bit, but very rarely do we see porcelain-cased watches. And this one may be even rarer as a piece of enamel. Strasbourg had its own enamel factories in the mid-18th century, and this watch is circa 1750 based on the maker's name and the style of the case. There were some very important porcelain companies that developed as a result of the Strasbourg factory. That factory was run by Paul Hanning from 1740 to 1760, and towards the end of the 1740s he started including this naturalistic style of enameling with flowers and beautiful botanical bits that are shown floating in field. So that, between the maker's dates and the date of the factory production, gives us a very, very clear idea of the date as being exactly mid-18th century. Most collections of Strasbourg porcelain, which was a predecessor to many of the great firms that moved out of the Strasbourg area after Louis XV created a monopoly on porcelain, most of those collections have simple pottery designs, pottery forms, and so forth. We don't know of any collection that has a watch case form in porcelain. We know this is Strasbourg porcelain thanks to the hole here that allows us to see the inside of the material, and one of the little cracks here that we have on the front bezel. It's actually an earthenware that's glazed in white, and there's a very fascinating article online that was written back in 1958 that tells all about this particular company and predecessor companies and the history of that period of time. So a very rare find, maybe even a rarer find for porcelain people than it is for watch people, but extremely interesting watch, and we have an estimate of $6,000 to $10,000 on it.